1. Knowledge of English. The student is likely to derive more advantage from the knowledge of English than from the knowledge of any other language. In the first place, he thereby gains access to the varied stores of a noble literature. The advantage of being able to read in the original the poetry of Milton and Shakespeare, the histories of Gibbon and Macaulay, the novel of Scott, Thackeray, and Dickens, and the philosophy of Stuart Mill, Darwin, and Herbert Spencer, is incalculable. This language also gives the key to the latest scientific discoveries of the two most advanced nations of the modern world. Every newly found marvel of science, even and originally discovered on the European continent, is sure to be published with little lie in the pages of English and American works. For the traveler and the man of business, no language is more useful than English, which is the mother tongue of about 200 million people, and is acquired for commercial and literary purposes by an immense number of foreigners. Indeed, the English language is known so widely year by year, that it bid fair to become in the course of time a kind of universal language known and spoken all over the world. Such are among the general advantages derived from the knowledge of English. But 3 are, of course, special reasons why we should master the language. The great bulk of the foreign trade being with England, a knowledge of English is essential for all clerks in commercial offices and for those who engage in trade on their own account. Finally, English is becoming the common language of all educated men.
2. Describe the first day of your school. Today is the first day of school. The 3 months of vacation in the country have passed like a dream. This morning I was returning to school. I was thinking of the country and went unwillingly. The streets were swarming with pupils. The 2 bookshops were thronged with persons who were purchasing books, copybooks, and school outfit. In front of the school, so many people has collected that the beadle and the policeman found it hard to keep the entrance clear. Near the door, I felt myself touched on the shoulder. It was my master of the 11th grade, cheerful as usual, and he said to me, "So we are to part forever, Henry." I knew it well, yet the words pained me. We made our way in with difficulty. Pupils of all ages filled the anteroom and the stairs, making such a buzzing that it seemed like entering a theater. I was glad to see once more that large room on the ground floor, where I had passed nearly every day for 3 years. There was a throng of teachers going and coming. My school mistress of the last year greeted me from the door of the classroom and said, "Henry, you are going to the floor above, this year. I shall not even see you pass by any more." And she gazed regretfully at me. At 10 o'clock we were all in our classes. The school seemed so small and gloomy to me when I thought of the woods and the mountains where I had passed the summer. I thought again, too, of my previous master who was so good, and who always smiled at us. Our present teacher is tall, he has no beard, his hair is gray and long. He has a big voice, and he looks at us fixedly, one after the other, as though he were reading our very thoughts, and he never smiles. I said to myself, this is my first day. There are 9 months more. What work, what monthly examinations, what weariness, and whatever will be.
3. Describe all activities of your school day. I live in the school hostel, in a room with 3 boys. In summer we get up very early, about 5 o'clock, because school begins at 6:30. In winter, when school starts at 9 o'clock, we get up about 7:30. The first thing we do when we have washed and dressed is to have tea and biscuits in the dining room. Then we have a look at our lessons for the day. Some boys get up much earlier, before it is light, and do their lessons in the early morning, but in our room we do them mostly at night. When the school bell rings, we all march off to school, and we are in our classes till 1 o'clock. I am in the 11th class, and in the first period we have the history lesson. In the next period, we go to the mathematics class, then the third period the headmaster takes our class in English. Then comes geography and other subjects. At 1 o'clock the bell rings, and we all scamper out of school and rush off to the hostel for our meal. By this time we are very hungry, and we crowd into the dining hall and soon get to work on the food served out to us. In our hostel it is generally pretty good, but we grumble a lot some days when the food is badly cooked. We soon finish our meal, and then run out into the play all sorts of games. But at 2 o'clock, The horrid bell rings again, and we go sadly back to our classes. In the afternoon we have drawing and science and other things, and we work away until the last bell rings at 4 o'clock. Then hurrah, for games! I am in the football team, and we generally have either a match or practice every evening. I like this much better than dry lessons, and we get some grand game. Others play hockey, some go for walks or amuse themselves. A few start studying their books, but I think they are stupid fellows. We get our evening meal about 7 o'clock. And after that the hostel gates are locked, the superintendent comes round and calls the roll, and we settle down to do our homework. By the time we go to bed, we are pretty tired, and soon fall on sleep as a log.